Welcome back to the Racial Draft Podcast. I am your host, Michael Ford, and I'm joined by my co-host, Kia.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
We're also joined by members of various racial drafting delegations. We have the co-captain of the Latinx team, Martin Sanchez. Martin, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Greatest guy ever.
We're also joined by the co-captain of the Native American delegation, Joaquin.
Hey, my friends. It's good to be back. It's been a while, but yeah, it's good to hear you all's voices. So let's get into it, man.
Yeah, it's good to.
Hoorah, Army.
I mean, it's good to be back in. Unfortunately, we had some sad news over the past week. We lost one of the luminaries in the comic book space, particularly the comic book movie space, and also luminaries in culture and in acting, in Chadwick Boseman, who was tragically lost via colon cancer on Friday night. Our hearts are heavy, and we're trying to kind of move forward with our grief. It's been a tough year for a lot of us in 2020, and the hits keep on coming, so to speak. I don't know if anyone else has kind of anything somber to add. Feel free to jump in.
Yeah, well, from the Native American delegation, I actually dressed up as a Black Panther for Halloween one year. And, it was really amazing to see a lot of the little kids respond to my costume. And first and foremost, just big rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. I saw his movie 42. I saw Get On Up. And when I found out that he had passed, it really honestly did feel like we lost a family member. My mother was in tears, and it was just some sad news, and it was definitely a blow to not only the Marvel community but to just everybody in general. So I really gotta give Chadwick the respect and the love that he so justly deserves.
Yeah, here.
Mikey?
Yeah, I heard about it, and at first I didn't believe it until I saw it actually on his official Twitter, and I was just like, oh my God. And the fact that he was diagnosed 4 years ago, but he still did all this other and amazing stuff, knowing full well that he has colon cancer, stage 3 colon cancer, which eventually came stage 4, and it was just like it's crazy to hear that,
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it was inspiring to know that he entertained and inspired so many people with his work. It was only after his passing that we were to find out how inspiring he was as a human being for pushing through. And he didn't have to do that, but he did, and he brought a bunch of joy to the world in that role, and never had a mean word to say. He was there for children who looked up to him and saw him as their superhero.
Absolutely.
And, here he was, a superhero in real life.
Yeah, I first and foremost definitely want to say my condolences to his family. I know they're going through a hard time, and I know they were on that journey with him. I'm so sorry about that. Hold on just for a second. Hey, that's enough. I'm sorry about that. The kids outside are bothering my dog. Come on, go. But yeah, I definitely want to say my condolences to his family. Also, I did have a quick question. So while he was filming Black Panther, I guess he did have colon cancer at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which makes him even more remarkable, because he knew how important that film was to the world, and he, struggled through that. So that just speaks a lot about his character. and his tenacity as a person. It's just, honestly, like, I'm, just extremely grateful that he was able to become this role model for people and give people hope and inspire people in so many ways. I was watching one of the Jimmys, Jimmy Fallon, the other day, and they had like certain people come up, and I guess they were talking to his like a poster of him, like, and there was a curtain behind the poster, and him and Jimmy Fallon were standing there, and they're like, describing how they felt when they watched the movie, and everything else like that, and then he would just come out and surprise them.
Yeah, I think
and it was, okay, you saw that?
Yeah, I think I saw some clips.
Yeah, and I was, it's just remarkable and what he's done, and Black Panther wasn't the only thing, obviously, that he did. Like, everything that I saw him in, he was inspiring and just amazing. It's just sad to see him go, but I also do really want to talk about, like, what he did while he had cancer. Just going and seeing people, and visiting the Children's Cancer Center. And I mean, these are things that you don't have to have cancer in order to do, but he even did that while he was sick himself. So, hopefully he can inspire others to, like, just be, one, grateful for the health that they have, and then to go make their mark in the world. You don't have to be looking at something dire in order to make your mark and to change people's lives. Volunteering, just taking a day. What's a day, to go to an old person's home or a children's hospital and just spend time with people. That's nothing. So please, do that.
Yeah. We talk a lot about things being, quote unquote, for the culture. And, in so many ways, Chadwick Boseman contributed to the culture. And in that way, he'll live on, years after his body does, through us. So, like, unfortunately, we're a podcast not only about grief. We're about levity, and we're going to try to do our best to pull it together for our listeners and our fans to try to offer a little bit of solace from whatever else is happening in the world, including this. And, hopefully you'll take this ride with us. Hopefully you'll have a little fun with us as we sort of explore these comic book nerds intersections around race and around ethnicity and culture. And, putting you on the spot, Martine, do you have something that you'd like to say to the Black delegation, given T'Challa being on your team?
Yeah.
Pass.
No. Oh no. You cannot.
I don't
pass.
know. I don't
Not get a pass.
I don't know what I can say about this.
You give him back? How about that?
We need to have some
I'm
conversations.
not in charge of that.
We need to have some conversations about, we won't call them reparations per se, but things being repaired, particularly as it concerns T'Challa. It's in so many ways the Black delegation has suffered, and we think it would be a magnanimous gesture if the Latinx delegation decided to work something out. But we'll discuss it. Stay tuned, listeners. Stay tuned to the ongoing result of Wakanda Gate, is what I'll call it. But we had the 13th round, the bonus round of the racial draft this past week. And, I'm happy to be joined by captains from 3 of the delegations. Who knows, maybe we'll be joined by other captains along the way. So I feel like it's only right to recap the round for those who haven't been following on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You could find us at Racial Draft Pod on Twitter, Racial Draft on Facebook, and Racial.Draft on Instagram. You can follow us any of those places and stay in touch with up to date with the ongoings of the draft and the battling, so to speak. Now's another good thing that I want to announce. We haven't worked out the specifics of it yet, but we're going to be bringing versus battles to the racial draft.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Head-to-head matchups of some of the characters that have been drafted.
Speaking as the captain of the multiracial team, not the sidekick in your podcast. Yeah, Wonder Woman against everybody. What? Okay, just that.
So
even death.
What did you say?
Yeah, even death, because I think points wise, she wins. Okay.
But stay tuned for that as well. We're gonna innovate. We're always about innovation, and one of the things that we're going to add is some versus battles in the coming weeks. So stay tuned there. Start strategizing as captains about who you want to set up for certain matchups. But the 13th round started off with a bang. The Black delegation decided that this is where they were going to make their move. They drafted Jason Todd, the Red Hood, on the heels of his standout performance in the Gotham Knights video game. He's got his own book. He's doing big things in the comics. And I got to say, that draft pick went off like gangbusters. Everybody loved it. There was some fan art from one of the captains of the Black delegation of Black Jason Todd. We came this close to John Boyega retweeting us as he talked about how he would love to play Jason Todd in a movie. So, I think the Black delegation made a very strong first step in the 13th round. And
to playing the game?
It might have been my favorite pick of the round. So it'll be hard. I'm going to go pick by pick, but I definitely think that the Jason Todd was one of the standouts. What do you guys think of that pick? Martine?
Amazing pick. The funny thing about that one is the night before they officially made their draft for Jason Todd, I had sent in a message to S on Twitter about, hey, if we can't get our pick, which we never did end up getting, how about Jason Todd as maybe like a backup, just in case? Well, I sent that at like at 9 o'clock here, 12 a.m. over there, so I didn't hear back. By the time I woke up, that pick was in, and I sent another message to S. It was like, never mind. So yeah, Jason Todd was a great pick, and then also the Three Jokers stuff. He's in that too. Showing up in that.
No spoilers, but
yeah,
he did some things. He
did.
Kia, now are you familiar with Jason Todd as a character?
Not too much. I'll be honest. I did look at his specs or whatnot when they picked him, and I was like, holy crap, they finally came to play. I'm about that life. I mean, where were they, round 1 through 12? But hey, I mean, overall, I was really impressed. I low-key was worried because I was like, if everybody comes to play, dude, I might be in trouble.
That is your position as the front runner, looking behind you to the people and how far off they might be. And, coming from the way back was the Black delegation with the strong move.
Yeah, very strong.
What do you think of Jason Todd?
I thought Jason Todd was a very good pick. Considering the fact that, I happen to be biracial, I thought what Jason Todd went through, what was the name of the comic book series? Death in the Family, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah. The fact that, he was, beaten and tortured and brainwashed to think a certain way. And then finally, he finally caves in. And then whenever he caves in, he gets killed. Um, I thought that was a good move, and yeah, I can definitely empathize with this character being also Native American. So
Mhm.
I really, Jason Todd was not really one of my favorites, but considering the fact that what he went through for the black delegation to select this one, I thought it was a very good pick because it speaks volumes about not only the black history but the Native American history as well. So I thought there was a parallel there, and I really, really did enjoy the pick.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm hoping that we'll get a little bit in the realm of backstory from the black delegation. A lot of teams weren't really forthcoming with backstory this week, but maybe we'll get some either in the next couple of days. But let's hear from the fans. Let's hear from what people on Twitter had to say about it. We'll start off with our friend Immortal Beloved. He said that's the perfect pick. To have it tie into Flashpoint Batman, and it's a deeper story. Well, I don't know about Flashpoint Batman, but I definitely think that it was a great pick and a great story. Our friend Sean from the White Delegation, he took pains to remind people that there's a lot of diversity in the Bat family now, with Chinese Bruce, white Damian, Filipino Dick Grayson, white Barbara, two whites, and and now black Jason. And he says, it took the addition of a 13th round to splash a little darkness into the Bat family, and considering that it is a dark night after all, maybe it's time to get an even darker night. Who else? Our boy Randy, who's been on the show.
King.
Randy said, a red bone black dude in a hoodie who has a chip on his shoulder for all the ways in which Bruce Wayne failed him, even to the point of death. Red Hood was born for this nomination. Welcome, brother.
Nice.
Shout out to Chris Wright on Twitter. Good pick. He's about that life. Let's see. Adam from the Jewish delegation said, all I had to do the last time was make a phone call to take him out. That's a little trash talk, a little inside comic baseball trash talk. Our friend Inclination, he did us a favor and posted some GIFs, GIF clips from the Gotham Knights game of Red Hood with that thing on him. He's getting the strap, as it were, and he's shooting people because that's how Jason.
That's what he does, man.
Jason Todd gets down.
Mm.
So if you're on Twitter, check that out. From the Asian delegation, the captain, Ron gave his thumbs up and his approval for a black Jason Todd. He said he'd be very interested, and considering that he's the his team has Batman, I'm sure there'd be some interesting dynamics between those two characters. Shout out to Toast from the Super Suit Show, who did the fan art for Jason Todd. He gave us some progress as he was working. And yeah, I mean, that was, as I think we got over 100 likes on that post. So it went over very well.
Nice.
That brings us to the Native American delegation.
I thought it was a Polynesian.
Oh, yes, it was a Polynesian delegation.
Yeah, I was going to say Polynesian was next, right?
Yes, it was a Polynesian delegation. They gave us Beta Ray Bill, a very popular fan favorite character who is part of the Thor mythos, and he's rumored to be showing up in Love and Thunder next year.
I'm sorry, that sounded like a sex toy.
I mean, Love and Thunder also my subtitle when I get down, but
can we keep it clean? Come on,
of putting both hands on the hammer. But we are talking about Thor: Love and Thunder from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But then, like I was saying, Beta Ray Bill, he's a fan favorite character with a cult following, but he doesn't have the same level of visibility as some of the other characters. So once again, I mean, I'm really looking forward to Tomatee's backstory for Beta Ray. Those tend to be the highlights. And
A backstory. Sorry.
we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I will start
I've been
with
drinking.
Kia, are you familiar with the character Beta Ray Bill?
I am now.
All right. Well, picture Thor, but with the head of a horse.
What head are we?
Oh,
Well,
No.
hold on. Let me. Have you ever, Kia? Have you ever
Yes.
seen the movie Thor Ragnarok?
Yes.
Okay, when they're zooming in to the Grandmaster's castle, you will see an Easter egg, and you will see Beta Ray Bill's face on one of the facial structures on the building.
That's true.
So
Okay.
watch Thor Ragnarok, and Beta Ray Bill actually beat the fuck out of Thor in some of the not one but some of the comics. That's how he was able to lift Mjolnir.
Yeah.
The hammer.
And Martine,
Oh, okay.
as the delegation that has Thor under its wing, how do you feel about the potential interactions between Thor and Beta Ray Bill?
Something I definitely would like to see. Now, like, when they made that pick, I was the idea came into my head, like, oh, they have Beta Ray Bill, we have Thor, they have Valkyrie, we have Jane Foster Valkyrie.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
like we have a pair each.
Maybe we will set up a tag team versus battle between your two delegations, and we'll see how that plays out.
All right. guys, you guys need to stop. I could go on all day.
Joaquin, do you have any more thoughts about Beta Ray Bill?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love Beta Ray Bill. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, he is worthy of lifting the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I would have loved to see him in Avengers Endgame. But
And
yeah, I have read.
Too.
His hammer is Stormbreaker now, right? Isn't that his hammer?
Yeah, it's Stormbreaker. And you know, I love Beta Ray Bill. Just for the simple fact that, you know, he doesn't look human. He's not human. He's not Asgardian. You know,
he kind of looks like a Asgard, like not Asgardian, but kind of like the Egyptian gods from back in the day. You know how like they're like half like animal, half human.
No, he just I remember seeing him in a series of I think it was called Clash of Champions. I think that's where I was first introduced to Beta Ray Bill when he took on Thor, and he beat Thor just hand to hand. And I was like, oh damn, you know, this is one being, I should say. I can't say person because he's not a person. That you shouldn't really screw with. So when Tamati selected Beta Ray Bill, I figure, ooh, that's a good one. Damn. Because I have no idea how to make him, this horse-looking dude, a Native American. So, you know, Tamati, you know, he took it and he did well with it. And yeah, I do firmly believe that, yeah, Beta Ray Bill, he does belong to the Polynesian team.
Right.
I really want to hear Tamati's backstory.
Right.
I would love to hear that too.
Yeah, we'll keep
too.
people posted when the backstory comes out. We'll make sure to give Tamati a platform if he wants it to lay out all the specifics. But let's hear from the fans.
I want him to lay it out too.
Annie from the Jewish delegation said, "Whoa, I will really be looking forward to how this works out." And eventually for Tamati's backstory, a Polynesian version of Stormbreaker, hell yes, wondering if Bill will still be a noble horse or something else. Well, that's another voice asking for the backstory. Don't keep the people waiting, Tamati. We know you're listening. Give us a backstory. Give us what we want. I, of course, said popular character for sure, but I'm not sure how exactly he fits within the culture. Guess we'll have to see what backstory Tamati cooks up for him. Here
Yeah.
comes Sean from the white delegation. Equestrian Thor joins the draft. Can't wait to read the backstory. There is a theme here.
I think there's a theme here.
Toast from the black delegation says Beta Ray is one of those characters people always want more of. I hope we can see more of him and maybe an appearance in MCU. In parentheses, we need a backstory.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the native delegation and their pick of Adam Warlock. What can I say about Adam Warlock? He is a cosmic being. I think he's probably best known for his association with the Infinity Gauntlet, or at least Infinity Stones. He was rumored to make an appearance in a couple of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he may be rumored to make an appearance in the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But I want to hear what Joaquin has to say about Adam Warlock.
Yeah, I went on Twitter, and somebody had made a comment, four white dudes making a Native American superhero. The thing is that, and shout out to Brooke Davenport, who actually approved of my rendition of Adam Warlock. He's not made by four scientists, but four deities. Kitanatuit, who is Lenape, Yosin, who is Apache, Joaquin Tonka, who is Lakota, and then Manitou, who is Algonquian. And these four beings choose a warrior from planet Earth, and then they take him into the spirit world, and then they encase him in a cocoon because they chose him because they want somebody to protect the Soul Stone, and that was the thing. We wanted a protector of somebody who has been to the spirit world and who is protecting the Spirit Stone. So the route that we were going for was like, no, we don't want scientists. Like, let's take it on a spiritual level. If he's dealing with the Spirit Stone or the Soul Stone, we'll make it on a spiritual level. So I was like, okay. So I talked to three other of my friends, and I actually talked to May about it, and she liked it, and they liked it. And the thing was that, in the spirit world, there's no concept of time, which means he sees everything that's going on, not only on Earth, but also in the entire universe. And his job is to protect the stone, but he actually turns his back on the deities, and he says, I have to help these, not people, only people, but
Beings.
Yeah, beings. So he jumps from the spirit world, and he starts doing his thing. The thing was that we didn't want a human Adam Warlock. We wanted him to be stripped from most of his humanity, but he keeps his heart, and he's able to make decisions on his own. And it kind of harkens back to the old Superman movie where, he's surrounded by all these big faces, and, they're telling him you can't interfere with this and that, and yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
But he's all like, screw that. People and beings are dying. I have to stop it. Okay. So considering the fact that, he can control the Soul Stone, that was where I left it open to where he can control the other five. So I thought Adam Warlock would be a good pick for the Native American delegation. So yeah, that was the reason why I picked him.
Okay. Martine, what did you think about the pick?
It was a good pick. I don't know much about Adam Warlock. I know, like, as I've said, like, I'm more of a DC person. I know certain pockets of Marvel.
Mhm.
Adam falls into the things I don't really know about.
Gotcha.
And I was just really looking forward to hearing, like, the backstory, which I guess I just got. And I was just
Yeah, you did.
in here in silence and awe of hearing everything. So that was that was a really good thing. A really good story. I really enjoyed that.
And Kia, I mean, I'm gonna guess that you're not very familiar with Adam Warlock.
I'm not familiar with Adam Warlock, no, but I figured, I'll trust Joaquin's instincts in putting him on the team, and I'm sure it was a great pick that goes alongside with the theme that the Native American theme was doing.
Yeah. So from a feedback perspective, we Annie gave us a 8 ode whoa, many exclamation points. She was very happy with the pick. I'm gonna see whether there were other people on the timeline. More Annie. Everyone knows that Marvel Cosmic is my jam from the 60s all the way through Jim Starlin's stuff in the 90s up to the present day. I am so excited to hear what the Native delegation is going to do with this. So Annie's big fan. Lamatic Hama from Twitter made a joke about how, he doesn't need a rock to mess with the soul. He said,
I like that comment.
And yeah, I mean, it was a little. I mean, I think people were a little bit in awe of the pick because Adam Warlock is that kind of character. But feel free to keep giving feedback to the character and to the pick.
Yeah, I really wanted to expand on this character a little bit because not only is this a character that I personally picked, but it was a culmination, not a culmination, but a collaboration with 3 other different tribes.
Right.
And, I figure with today's climate and with everything going on, I think we could use a little tribal unity.
Right.
So, I was just like, well, why don't we pick a superhero to where, it'll bring us, he or she will bring us together. And Adam Warlock was one of those picks. And I remember watching Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they start creating Adam. So I was like, ooh, this one, because I remember reading. He showed up in the Fantastic Four series number 66 back in 1967.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I've read comics that far back. So, so I was like, you know what, Adam Warlock would be a good one. So yeah, that's it for the Native American delegations talk. Let's talk about some other picks.
Well, one thing before we move on past the pick, one thing I would love to have happen is that, Eli, the official artist of the Racial Draft podcast, I would love for you and Eli to, get together and try to figure out how to infuse some of the tribal elements into the Adam Warlock design. And
you've said that before, and I haven't really gotten in touch with Eli, but considering the fact what he did with Blade, I was just like, oh wow, that's some good shit. But the thing is that the story of Adam Warlock, because he does have a different name. He's not Native American, but he's, what the Native Canadians say, First Nations.
Gotcha.
Which is basically Native American, but they call themselves First Nations. So I thought I'd try out one of the First Nations peeps up north in Canada.
Okay. Well, stay tuned, folks, if you want to hear more about Adam Warlock. We'll get some more to you in the coming weeks. That does bring us to the Jewish delegation. Another one of my favorite picks in this round, they drafted Jessica Drew, aka Spider Woman. What were your thoughts?
Good pick.
What were your
Good
thoughts
pick.
when you heard about this pick?
Well, I was really upset. I was like, I think I put in Discord, no, because
You
I
had
was
your eye
really,
on Jessica Drew, didn't you?
yeah, I definitely had my eye on her, and yeah, of course. I mean, I love the Jewish delegation, so I'm not hating, but I think this is the first time I really truly felt some type of way about the Jewish delegation. I'm like team Jewish delegation / Annie all day long. So I was like, I felt like she took something from me. Bullshit.
Welcome to the party.
Oh, it was the first time I was scarred. It's like I felt like she personally attacked me and my team. But whatever, girl power. As long as it went to her. If it had gone to somebody else, I probably would have threatened their lives. That's how I felt.
Now, what about you, Martine? What did you think about the pick?
Well, after that, I'm glad we didn't pick her. No.
She's gonna cut you.
I was gonna cut you.
Yep. She was another one that a while back I had told S that maybe we should consider getting. So it's nice that even though we can't get some of these characters, that's nice that they're still being used by other delegations.
Right.
I do know about Jessica. I also feel like, like if you had gone, because you also have Captain Marvel, right, Kia?
Right.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, which is like she and Jessica are really close friends. But I guess now because of Annie, multiracial delegation has Captain Marvel, Jewish delegation has Jessica Drew. You two are close friends. That way, at least that still kind of works.
Like
so at
in
least there's
life.
that. Yeah, like in life. But I think it was really good. Much like a lot of these other things, all these other picks, I'm just waiting to hear the backstory.
I hear you. What, Joaquin? Did you have any thoughts about Spider Woman?
Oh man, I've been a Spider Woman fan. Gosh, ever since she came out in the '60s, '70s. I used to watch her cartoons.
Yeah, those cartoons are on Disney Plus now, so we can all check them.
No shit. Well, damn, I'm gonna have to check them out. But I love the fact that she's Spider Woman, but she doesn't have the same abilities as Spider Man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they're Spider Woman and Spider Man, they have different abilities, and that's what I really liked about Spider Woman. Is like she can do different stuff. She's got the underarm webbing, and she glides around, and she can do all this stuff, and she's got superhuman strength. And I was like, wow, that's a good pick for the Jewish delegation. I thought, I could do something with her. I know for a fact that I could, because Spider-Man was my very first pick when you started this whole thing.
Right.
I was going to say your best pick.
But yeah, I would have loved to have seen a. I just not any black Spider-Woman or native Spider-Woman or just a Spider-Woman in general. I would just love to have seen that, and she picked it. And I think she's gonna do her some justice. So yeah, I really don't have anything negative to say about Spider-Woman as far as the Jewish delegation.
Yeah, and
I think I also want to add real quick. I think that because Annie picked her, that might raise her elevation in just like the racial draft in general. I think right now I think she was fourth or fifth in the racial draft because of the points that I think that she just was going to bring.
Fifth,
she might be able to elevate herself.
She's tied with us.
Yeah.
As far as the racial draft.
You might be going down.
The other thing about, timing wise, I think it's a great time because there have been some rumors swirling around that there's a Spider-Woman movie in the works with Sony.
Mhm.
And there had been rumors for a little while that Marvel and Sony were going to be collaborating on a movie involving Spider-Woman because of all of the different connections that she has, both to S.H.I.E.L.D. and to Captain Marvel as really good friends, while sort of having this on the edge, tenuous relationship with the Spider family. I think she's a very important glue character in terms of connecting these different threads in the Marvel Universe. So I think that both in the real comics and in pop culture, Spider-Woman is on the verge of having a moment. And, this is a good time for Annie and the Jewish delegation to kind of get in on the ground floor of that. So I thought it was a very fine pick. And, I'm also looking forward to hearing the different tweaks to the backstory.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was on YouTube and I heard about the fact that they're going to be making a Spider Woman movie,
Mhm.
directed by Olivia Wilde.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen Cowboys and Aliens, but yeah, a lot of my relatives are in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I am looking forward to this movie, and I would definitely like to see where they're going to go with this character. Um, because, like I said, she can do some different things than Spider-Man can. So I'm really looking forward to this movie.
Yes. And Annie had a little bit extra to say. She said, "Yes, we did. It's about time that we have a Spider Jew." Um, Sean decided to throw some shade, as he is wont to do. Um, 3/4 of my round 12 poll picks have been chosen now. Those at the bottom are playing in my design.
Sean always throw some shade.
Toast from the Black delegation said, "Great pick, hype for the film that was announced." And I think that may have been it, but there was some enthusiasm. There were people really loving it, and people really love Spider-Woman. So I think that I can see, like Kia was saying, I can definitely see her being a strong player for the Jewish delegation going forward in the Fantasy Comics League scoring. Now, but speaking of throwing shade from the white delegation, we need to take a breath and talk about the 5th pick in round 13. Because yet again, Sean and the white delegation did what they do, which is steal from people, whitewash, gentrify, overall strip away the coolness when they drafted John Stewart, the Green Lantern.
The Green Lantern.
Yes, they did. They took John Stewart away from, yet again, the black people lose again the hands of the white man. And Sean's not here to defend himself. So I'm just gonna continue to throw
Wow, what
anger
a shock.
what were your thoughts, Martine, when you as a huge Green Lantern fan, what were your thoughts when you saw the indignity that transpired?
Disappointment. He basically made the Daily Show with Jon Stewart with him. My big reaction was just like on Twitter, was just like, get Milo, just like how dare you,
Yeah.
like Jon Stewart. Like I thought, I should have known. Really, I should have known. I've listened to like how like every time he does bring up John in the past, like when he's done polls, and I should have known, but I didn't want to believe it. I
Exactly.
think.
Actually see it happen. I'm surprised he didn't give us a fantasy casting of like somebody named Brad who would play.
No, it's Jon Stewart.
No. I'm saying
No, I mean that's the fan cast.
Oh wow.
Might as well.
We can't have that. We can't. The Daily Show with no. I refuse. I refuse to put that thought in my head. Key, are you familiar with Jon Stewart, Green Lantern?
I am only familiar because, well, Sean's been trying to get him forever. Like, put him in. I think he put him in a couple of his
polls. He did.
his polls, and I mean, I think we should all have seen it coming. But yeah, I kind of knew it was coming. Like,
yeah,
I know that's somebody like he coveted like the whole time we were playing.
Right, and you're right. For 12 rounds, the people kept trying to block him. They kept trying to protect our uncle John, but when nobody was looking, he went in there and snatched it up. Joaquin, are you a fan of Jon Stewart, Green Lantern?
Yeah, I am. Sean, like I told you before when we first started talking, Mike, I'm not really on that racial shit. And they said that they, whitewashed a lot of these characters, but I'm one of those. Looking from the outside in, they actually blackwashed some of the characters as well. Nick Fury also was a white dude, and they made him black. Not complaining, I'm just saying, and the character. Hold on. The character of Heimdall in the Thor comic books was played by a white dude, and Idris Elba played that character. My whole philosophy is like, if it fits, then damn it, do it. I don't want to get into this whole racial identity politics bullshit because I'm a Native American, and the thing is that we all belong to the same sacred hoop: black, white, yellow, red, and everything else in between. And the thing is that for them to pick, okay, to be quite honest, I kind of think Sean's been targeting the chocolates. Yeah, and I think he's doing it just to rile people up.
Oh,
Are you saying he's like the police of the racial draft?
Oh, well, not fair.
No, I'm not even going in. I'm not going into that political bullshit. I'm saying is that he's doing this because he likes the reactions. He gets off on the reactions. And
how does he do that?
I think this is my opinion. I just think that he gets off on it. He likes it. He likes to see your reactions. And looking from the outside in, you kind of fall into it, and it's just like, they're gonna get pissed off. I mean, when he first picked Blade, I was just like, oh shit, the chocolate delegation is gonna get pissed. And sure enough, that's what happened. The thing is that if he was to pick one of mine, or maybe a Native American Marvel character, like maybe Warpath or
he picked Forge. He picked Forge.
Yeah, or any of the Native American characters, I wouldn't get upset, but it seems like he's kind of just aiming for you guys, and I'm just like, ooh, wow. But I honestly think that I don't think he's taken anything away from you guys. I just think that he's just doing it to just see your reactions. And to be quite honest, from the Native American delegation and myself and May included, we just sit back and watch. It's like, when Mike came to me, I told him, I said, I'm not really on that racial shit. And then he explained to me what was going on with the racial draft. And I was like, oh, okay. And I knew for a fact, because I watched the NBA drafts, I watched the NFL drafts, I've seen owners get just downright pissed. So I came into this little thing knowing exactly what was going to happen. But yeah, I haven't really seen him take a poke at the Latin team, the Asian
Amy.
team.
That's right. He did. Yeah. Jamie
I remember.
So yeah. So my little challenge to Sean is, why don't you try taking somebody else's?
Come at me, bro? Is this a come at me, bro? I think this is a come at me, bro.
You damn right it's a come at me, bro. Fuck.
I love how you waited until after we finished drafting to do it. Come at me.
I told you, Mike, I am not politically correct, and I will call somebody out when they do it. And I'm like, okay, you haven't picked anybody else except black heroes. So yeah.
Well,
who else are you gonna pick?
Well,
because if he was to pick not only the black heroes, but if he was to pick Latinos or Spanish or polka dot or purple or any of these other people and take their heroes, I would have had a little bit more respect for him. So yeah, I am throwing the gauntlet at Sean.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we kid, but you know, Sean's having fun with this. He's stirring the pot, and I asked him to stir the pot, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also my role to point out when the colonizer colonizes.
Oh, Mike.
Do what they do best.
I'm a Native American. You don't have to. You're preaching to the choir over here. You don't have to tell me about colonizers.
and look, we're all we may not be coming from all the same places politically, but one of the cool things about the racial draft is that we can have fun with our favorite characters. What I would say in defense of the Black delegation and Black people in general is that we have certain characters that are extra beloved to us because these characters have been one of the few Black characters that we grew up watching, whether it's in DC or whether it's in Marvel or it's in the X-Men world. And while there's a lot of diversity now in comics, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it wasn't there. So to see the trailblazers, to see the characters that sort of led the way for the characters of today get pulled out as a rug from under us. We deserve to crow about it. We're not.
Well, yeah. I mean, Mike, who doesn't deserve to crow about it? I mean, this is something you started, and I knew for a fact that if I'm going to be doing this, I knew that we're going to be poking at each other. We're going to be kind of shoving each other. We're going to be kind of talking trash. Mm-hmm. We're going to get angry. And that's the thing, is the fact that I am not going to hate any of you if I'm going to have one of my superheroes taken away from me. And that's the thing. And this is the reason why I came to the racial podcast or the racial draft is because, we can talk about it. We don't have to resort to blows or any of that other stuff that has been going on across the United States. We don't have to do that. It's just, oh, you want to talk some smack? I can talk some smack right the hell back. And, I love what you got going here because you're bringing people together, and that's the thing. And that's what I really enjoy about the podcast. And that's the same thing with May, because I explained to her what was going on, and she too was like, I'm not really into the whole racial thing. And when I explained it to her, she was like, oh, okay. And I had to make her a co-captain because I was going through all this stuff, and now she's going through all her stuff. And it's just been a release for us, because as a Marine, I am competitive, and Kia will tell you, because we have argued I don't know how many times, and
That was always right.
oh yeah, and we have maybe some different ideologies, but
That's an understatement.
it's all okay over here. So yeah, you don't have to worry about
All love.
me being
P. Diddy love.
yeah. But yeah, it's been a ride, man, and like I said, it's good to be back and to have these sort of conversations. But yeah, Sean is still on my shit list. So yeah.
Well, on your shit list probably does yeah, that says a lot about how his pick was received, so to speak. There were a lot of reaction gifs that I can't do justice by reading. So you're gonna have to check out the timeline and to see the
Oh,
shock
trust me, I will, bro.
the shock faces, listeners. And I guess we should move on to the next pick, though. The sixth pick, which is the Latinx delegation.
Mm-hmm.
Time for you to give the people what they want.
Okay, so I have it pulled up now. Our pick was John Constantine.
Okay.
We apparently were the only ones who wrote a backstory prior to this episode, at least made it known, at least. So I don't know.
So take a bow as a backstory connoisseur.
Thank you. And I'm just going to read it off now to the people who may not have already seen it. The Latinx people are one of the fastest growing ethnic groups in the UK, which is what brought young Maria Constantino to Liverpool from Venezuela. Now, seeing as this is a world filled with the supernatural and superhuman, it should come as no surprise when she meets a man calling himself Hector, who seems a little too good to be true. That's because he is. For you see, he is not a man. He is a god. Huehuecoyotl, to be exact. The Aztec trickster god of storytelling, music, dance, and merriment. This god and human seemingly fall in love, and they had a daughter, Chela, and twin sons, Juan and Diego. Notice I said seemingly. But as is the case with most gods, Hector didn't stick around. He wasn't much of the settling down type, being he's a party god and patron of uninhibited sexuality. He grew bored. He left Maria to raise the two kids by herself. Years later, Juan took after his father in some ways. He was a mischievous trickster who was good at telling stories to get himself out of trouble. When he started to get interested in magic at a young age, a stranger found him and told him a spell to make him a powerful magician. Juan did it, not knowing it required a sacrifice, and inadvertently caused his family home to catch fire, killing his family and leaving him alone. Juan grows up with no one in the world to look out for him. He had a knack as a con man and, over the years, continued to dabble in magic. He also took many lovers throughout his life, and, like his father, he is pansexual. After spending the night with a Nahual, who is a human who can shapeshift, in this case specifically a jaguar, Juan discovers his true parentage, and the mysterious stranger who gave him the spell that killed his family was his very own grandfather, Tetzcatlipoca, the Aztec god of sorcery and discord. He also discovers the Nahual was sent by his grandfather, hoping to bring his grandson to the dark side and make him his champion against the hero Aztec, who is the champion of the god Quetzalcoatl. That didn't really work. Juan accepted that he had darkness running through his veins, but instead of embracing the evil, he vowed to combat it, even the evil in his own family. I'll come after the whole bloody lot of you. This is going to be horrible. I'm sorry. I'm going to try, but this is going to be horrible. I apologize to any listeners who are from the UK. I'll come after the whole bloody lot of you. Especially you, Gramps, you prat. You have a real nasty piece of work coming your way. And we also gave him a fan cast of Sean Teal, who some of you may know from the show The Gifted. It was the X-Men show. He is also from, he's actually from England, yeah.
Oh,
He's
wow.
a Venezuelan, Spanish, and Welsh, but he was born and raised in, like, England.
Oh,
So
very
it
cool.
worked out perfectly that I found him anyway. That's why I specifically made his mom Venezuelan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't have to apologize for butchering British accent as many times as people butcher Spanish. Like, I feel like you.
Oh my God.
But
Hey, my name is Joaquin. Nobody knows knows how to pronounce my name. So
I do, because I
Or
sometimes
spell
get
it.
called Joaquin.
so,
Yeah.
Kia, are you familiar with the Constantine character?
I'm familiar with the movies in which Keanu Reeves has done.
Right.
Yep. He looked really good doing them, and I'm about that life.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he's had a TV show. He's actually been on the CW on a show called Legend of Tomorrow. The actor that plays him right now, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is pretty.
Matt Ryan.
I think he's also voiced him in animation.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's become a lot more popular in the last couple of years, and it's gonna be interesting to see what his profile becomes. But as an addition to the Latinx team, I know you guys have been coveting him for quite a while. He's been in a couple of your polls, hasn't he?
He's been in the last two of our polls for round 11 and round 12. Round 11, he went up against Kyle, who ended up winning. And let's see, who was the other one? Oh, right, Deadpool. And then in the last round, it was really close between him and Jane. It was like off by like, I think, what, 1 or 2 votes. And then when we got this, when we got this last extra round, it was just like perfect. You know, the last two that were going really head to head on our last poll, now we could get both of them.
Yeah, good point. Joaquin, do you have any thoughts about John Constantine? Or Juan Constantine, as it were?
Oh yeah. I mean, when I saw that the Latin team picked Juan Constantino, I thought, I could see an alliance there. I'm not sure if you guys saw it on Discord, but I've been eyeballing a character who's in the same field, and I was like, okay, gosh. And I do remember on Discord, I was saying that I was just talking about John Constantine today, and then on Discord, boom, there's John Constantine. I was like, and I wasn't upset. I thought it was a damn good pick, and the person that I was kind of eyeballing, went through the same ordeal. So I thought, me living in New Mexico, there is a real big spiritual element, especially with Latin. And I thought, wow, it's the same deal with Native Americans. So I thought it was a damn good pick, because a lot of people that I've come across, especially here in New Mexico, there was a really strong spiritual element, and I'm a big fan. Well, I shouldn't say a big fan, but I do watch paranormal videos and supernatural stuff, like Sasquatch and demons and ghosts and all that other, and poltergeists and all that other stuff. And it's the same deal with the Latin team. I was just like, that is perfect. and I got a Native American character or a character from the comic books that does the same thing you do, but I'm just gonna make him Native. So I thought that with the Latin team picking John Constantine, and I have read the comic books and I have seen the movie. I thought that was just fucking perfect. So I thought, yeah, it's perfect. Let's do this.
One thing that I think would be fun, I mean, obviously this involves cross universes, but John Constantine and Doctor Strange in the same room together, trying to, one probably trying to take the piss out of the other one, while Stephen Strange is comparing his both his magical track record with his bedroom track record, so to speak. Yeah, I think I think there'd be some fun interactions there. But let's hear from the people, the internet people, as it were. Sean, with a little bit more shade. What an excellent pick. As I narrow down my picks, he made it into the top 4. Can't wait for, well, this was before the backstory. Yeah. Can't wait for the backstory. Pablo Enrique, ED Nexus Latinx, said, haha, I'm all for it. Kitty Chandler, at Mighty Battle Cat, says, hell yes. So unanimous positivity for the pick. And, I think the fan cast is particularly on point. Yep. I like Sean Teal. So I'm all for it. Let's move on to the 7th pick. The Asian delegation. Ron Solo. They brought to us in a lot of ways, the emotional favorite pick. They drafted Betsy Braddock, formerly Psylocke, now Captain Britain.
Oh man, Captain Britain.
Yeah, Betsy Braddock, who for many years was inside of the body of an Asian woman, now gets to be Asian for real, by virtue of being drafted by the Asian delegation. We didn't get a lot of feedback on that from the fans, I don't believe, but you get feedback from me. I loved it. Are you familiar with the character Psylocke, Kia?
Actually, only that I thought I saw like a book coming out soon. I mean, I was just doing a little bit of research. If my research is correct, there might be a book coming out. I don't know if it's going to be during the racial draft, but one will be coming out, and so I was just kind of like browsing through, but I don't know too much about that character.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Betsy Braddock is, she's been, at the moment, she's been leading this group called Excalibur, which is a team that uses magic and mutants to defend England. So, yeah, she's all over it. She's doing great things. We did get a toast from the Black delegation saying that, that's a major flex, and it was a major flex. Martine, what were your thoughts about the pick?
Good. I completely understand why they went Psylocke with Betsy Braddock, because of that very same reason. Again, she's like one of those people that like kind of falls into that group of like, I don't really know much about her, even though I do. Like one of the pockets that I learned that I really tend to focus on is like the fantasy and the supernatural. So really, I should probably know more about her. Mm-hmm. But I've got nothing. I'm really interested in seeing like what they do with her. But I think good pick regardless, especially if she's like currently leading a team.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those are the 7 of the 8 picks. Mm-hmm. And of course, there was a front runner who made a pick. So let's go ahead and hear from the.
Hey, you guys want to make a drum roll? You guys can. Go. Anybody? Okay.
I'm good.
Right. Okay, we could just, as listeners, you could just like visualize and like hear it in your head. For this 13th round draft pick, I decided to go with the one, the only Black Widow, which I was really psyched about. Some team affiliations. She has some team affiliations with like Avengers, Champions, Heroes for Hire, KGB, obviously, Secret Avengers, Liberators, a few others. She has worked with in some recent comics and comics of the past. Daredevil, shout out the Polynesian team. Hawkeye. Did anybody pick Hawkeye?
Yeah, the Native American team. That's all.
Native American team.
that was
Oh
us.
shit! What's up? What's up? And Winter Soldier, and but most importantly, Captain America, who is also part of the multiracial delegation. And a little fun fact: in an alternate universe, like Earth 55326, they had a kid together named James Rogers, who was also a doctor, and was secretly raised by Tony Stark on an Arctic base. Fun fact, just for all you listeners out there. I really liked her because of the abilities, like, as a Marine, hoorah. Her hand-to-hand combat is out of this world. She's slow aging, like myself, because I am half Black. Also, enhanced immune system. I never get sick, so obviously, I really resonate with her. She's an expert marksman. Like, it's practically me, but whatever. She used some cool things like the grappling hook, tasers, which I'm all about tasing somebody. Like, I would do it. Like, yes. If it wasn't illegal in New Jersey, I'd have 12 tasers and then just tase people for
Okay, I think most importantly, she has a movie coming out this year.
Oh, well, I was going to get to that. Gosh, steal my thunder. Steal my thunder. Lord have mercy. Gosh. She is not just important because she also has a solo book coming out. So it's not just that important, but yeah, she has a movie coming out. Tentatively, I believe it's coming out November 6th of 2020. It's going to be directed by Kate Shortland, who is known for some of her short films, but I think that maybe for the listeners and people of today, maybe you guys would probably be aware of the television show, The Secret Life of Us. So I don't know if anybody's heard of that.
I have not.
Well, that's one of her most recent things, and I've heard that name of that television show. So I've been binging a lot of things lately. So, and with her solo book, the writer is Kelly Thompson, who is also known for Captain Marvel, who I also have on my multiracial team. Just saying. And the artist
Kelly likes to use her characters, have her characters show up in other books. She also writes the Deadpool book.
Yep. This is also on my team.
Yep.
Also, but something really cool. This artist Elena, and I hope I'm not messing up her name, Casagrande, I believe, is making her first Marvel debut as the illustrator of that book. And so I'm all about that woman power.
So will you be picking up the book this week, the Black Widow?
For sure. And actually, you know what? You just made me think about it. So this is going to be my thing to you listeners. So I would suggest that the listeners and even the racial draft captains, mainly the Black team and the Polynesian team, that's you, Tomati, you should pick up the book and live vicariously through the multiracial team. You too can see how it feels to rack up points.
That is just really cute, Kia. And again, you can go fuck yourself.
I just want to look back. I mean, I feel like we all seen Endgame, and you have Hawkeye, she has Black Widow. We already know how it turns out.
I know, that's what fucking scares me, man.
Black Widow at the bottom of the cavern. So, but no, that's a great way to transition into this week.
Well, Kia and I know that we both love each other, and as much as the arguments that we get into, yeah, it's gonna
Very true.
fucking suck.
You stepped all over my transition into the FCL. Week 5 of the competition. The result may surprise you. So we will talk about how everyone did, how the various teams did, hot off the presses. I haven't even published it. Now, I have to give a disclaimer. These scores have not yet been certified by the FCL. So there may be a couple score adjustments in the coming days. But as of now, this is our scoring. With 9 points, the Native American delegation.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
you got some points. Yay. Hold
Oh,
on.
yeah. Gosh, that's great.
15 points, the Jewish delegation.
Woo! Annie!
With 17 points, the Polynesian delegation.
What? How's that happen?
17 points. With 42 points.
Oh, that's a jump.
42 points, the Latinx delegation.
All right. All right. You hear that, Sweet Cheeks? 42 points.
With 53 points, the Black delegation.
What?
Holy shit, dude.
What?
53
What?
How'd that happen?
How? What? They really came to play. They really came to play. Holy crap. They should, like, you should send them, like, macaroons or something.
That's right. So, like I said, 53 points for the Black delegation. With 55 points, the multiracial delegation.
No! 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 Oh my God! This needs to be a recount. A recount. Obviously,
With,
something went wrong.
with 63 points,
Yeah, obviously this is black.
the white delegation.
No integrity. No integrity. This is all a lie.
And in first place, with 65 points, finally dethroning the full-time.
Huh? What? Wait,
What is
hold
this?
on. Is somebody using the toilet? Somebody pooping?
I think that was commentary about the out.
Yeah, about the garbage that you're spewing? Yes, possibly.
With 65 points, this week's champion, the Asian delegation, led by 37 points by the Batman.
That's not surprising.
Okay. You know what? I don't believe this. Recount. You said I came in third place?
That's right.
You got beat by the white delegation.
Oh my God. White delegation. Oh, that hurts more. That hurts more than the Asian delegation winning. The white team just stepping all over the multiracial team, knowing that there won't be white people in like 100 years because everybody's going to be multiracial. Fuck that shit. Oh, Shaba's here. Fight up.
Hold on a second. I need to fix something.
Yeah, the point, because obviously you have them wrong.
No, I don't have them wrong.
Nah, I haven't. No, no. I am a non-believer. I think I'm better to breathe.
However,
Wait, we only have like 3 more weeks, right? I just got to hold out for 3 weeks, right?
yes, week 6, 7, and 8.
Okay,
So
I can do that.
and
Let's breathe.
I just have to total up. That's what I was working on right now. I'm doing the cumulative totals.
Okay.
Bear with me, you guys. Kia, you can give us more of your consternation at having been dethroned. You're
Well, I
outward.
haven't been dethroned. I mean, just because, I threw out like, a little favor, giving you guys a 13th round and all. I mean, if you guys want to feel competitive, everybody gets a week to feel competitive.
They didn't
Hell,
get
even the Polynesian team.
they didn't get any points out of the 13th round pick though.
I don't want to hear all that. I'm just saying that, like, at the end of the day, it's boring to win. Like, we used to give. It's like playing with your little siblings, right? It's like you're gonna defeat them and smash them and like just get them. But you always, like, while you're playing, you have to pretend like you're struggling. You gotta give them a leg up every once in a while so they feel like they actually have a shot.
I hear you.
You don't want to demoralize them like I've been doing for the past 5 weeks, whatever.
I understand. Well,
So you're welcome. If this is even facts.
yeah, you let them live. You let them live this week.
Yeah,
Well,
that's exactly what happened. You're welcome, Joaquin.
so I will fill you guys in on the overall standings. With 56 points overall,
Mhm.
the Polynesian delegation. With 64 points overall, the Black delegation.
Wait, you said what? 56?
56 for the Polynesian delegation, 64 for the Black delegation. Wait, that's not right. Give me a second.
See, we can't even trust him. Can't even trust him. I'm sorry. Sorry to all the listeners out there.
Give me a second, folks. Sorry about this. This is technical
Longest
difficulties.
second ever.
This is what
Yeah,
happened.
it's do math. Do math.
You guys are going to be surprised at what happens when I actually finish totaling these up. Spreadsheets brought to you by Microsoft and Google.
Is this an ad?
This is
What'd
unpaid
you say,
content.
Martine? Martine was speaking. What?
This
Is this an ad?
unpaid content. All right, let's try this again. Overall, 56 points for the Polynesian delegation.
Mm-hmm.
74 points for the... Nope, sorry.
Again? Oh, you're fired. See, we cannot trust this. This is obviously all bullshit.
No. I just got the order. I just got the order wrong. The numbers are right.
That's what
The
she
order's
said.
wrong. 56 points for the Polynesian delegation, 68 points for the Native American delegation, 74 points for the Jewish delegation, 88 points for the Black delegation.
Oh my God.
169 points for the white delegation.
100 for the... Wait, hold on. You said one more time? 100 and...
169.
I knew that's where that was going.
Yeah. Nice. I think was what you were waiting to say.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
237 points for the Latinx delegation. 275 points for the Asian delegation.
Oh, that's like not even what I had last week.
And
sorry. Not that I'm taking away from that.
And overall, our season 1 frontrunner has a grand total of 440 points. The multiracial team.
Was that the Thunder? Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
440 points.
Mhm.
The domination while there was a slight blip this week, overall, the domination continues.
Hey, hold on. This is Who's Your Mama? Joaquin, how does that feel? How do you feel, Joaquin?
Joaquin or Martin?
Ooh,
I guess.
okay.
I guess Martin.
Okay. I'm back.
I guess Martin and Joaquin. Both. I mean,
Joaquin, did you miss us saying the overall standings?
Yeah, I think I did. I
here. I'll tell you.
ran out of minutes, and I had some money in my account, and I had to restart my phone and all this other stuff. So
I'll
what were you
do
guys
it
talking
for
about?
you. Here, I'll tell you for you. Okay, you have 68 points. I have 440. The Jewish team has 74 points. I have 440. The black team has 88 points. I have 440. The white team has 169. Yeah. I have 440. The Latin team has 237. What do I have? Anybody?
440.
Yeah, that's right. The Asian team has 275, and I have 440. Oh yeah, and the Polynesian team 56.
And Mike, didn't I not tell you that she was going to be doing shit like this?
Dominating
What?
you guys in the
No, not dominating, but just fucking gloating. And she honestly thinks that I actually give a fuck.
I mean,
yeah, that's what losers
That's
say.
just cute. That is. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, Kia.
Over
You
here.
think I'm gonna kiss your cute little ass, Marine? No, it ain't gonna happen.
Oh, it's okay.
Apache don't kiss ass. So yeah,
I got
you can gloat to everyone else. I don't care.
well,
But
I just think
that's what all losers say. Like, remember, like how they tout it, like, I don't care about this anyway. I only trained for 12 weeks to pick the best picks I possibly could, but I don't care.
And look how Mike is getting irritated because he won't shut the hell up.
I just think it's important to know that last week the black delegation scored 16 points, and now they have, in the subsequent week, scored 53 points on the back.
That's actually really impressive.
On the backs of 20 points from the Joker and 24 points from their 13th round draft pick, Jason Todd.
That's crazy. Hey, real quick.
And I thought that was a damn good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, could you tell me real quick, how many points has the Crow made?
Oh my gosh, she's still on that shit.
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh,
we're in season 2, girl. What the hell are you doing still talking about season 1?
Winning in both seasons?
However, there's no need to twist the knife, Kia.
Oh, I'm not.
Thank you, Mike.
I threw it.
God damn.
I already pinned him against the wall. He's just hanging there, dangling.
And in a podcast, I did tell you she was gonna do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think.
Thank you for being here, Joaquin.
I think that
you give me joy.
I think the black team has come to play now. I think they're forced to be reckoned with.
And the white team as well. The white team, stepping up. Like, I'm kind of sort of turned on.
I mean, they're just in that 4th place though. They're pretty far behind the 2nd and 3rd place, competition.
Mm-hmm.
But that that battle at the bottom half of the bracket is really shaping up. Because I don't know.
The battle for last place. Who will win?
Hey, Mike, I gotta ask you, when does this little head-to-head thing?
Oh, the showdown? Possibly as soon as next week.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I think again, we're gonna work the kinks out, but I think what we need to do is we may have people who come on the show call out, bring their character, bring a character that they name, and call out someone from another team for a head-to-head battle. And then we'll give them time to talk about why they think that their character will win the battle, and we'll put it to a vote for the fans on Twitter. Head-to-head.
Yeah, because I was kind of wondering about that. You know, I mean, like when we first started in the first season, it was like the majority of them was like heroes and stuff, and I was just like, you know, when are you gonna call a civil war where captain can go against another captain?
Yeah.
And you know, we'll let the fans decide who wins.
This is your moment.
No, it's not my moment. It's yours. You started this whole thing, so you know, I just threw some, you know, some ideas, some suggestions out there, and you know, it's good to know that you're actually thinking about, like, yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, of course.
Because there are a couple of captains where I would like to take on just one-on-one.
All right. Well, remember, it's characters. You know, it's not the like I wouldn't set up an octagon for you to actually go at it.
No, I'm not gonna do that, Mike. Come on now.
Just playing. But
But
But if you were,
I feel like that's where we should probably wind down the show, guys. Anyone want to give any final word for the week?
My team.
yeah. Oh, from the Native American delegation, like I said when we first started, it's good to be back, and yeah, I did miss you guys, and I do love your backstories and your take on certain Marvel and DC characters. Um, it's a good way to get away from everything that has been transpiring in reality.
Mhm.
So, Mike, thank you, and you know, keep doing what you're doing because I want this thing to grow. May feels the same way, and you know, she's doing her thing, and yeah, it's growing. So you know, keep doing what you're doing, and it'll grow. And you know, we got your back, man. We're totally behind you.
Here, Martini, you have any final words?
it's been like a really fun thing to do. Like I've written like, and this is just this is like a nice break from like a lot of the stuff that's going on. And yeah, I don't really know what to say right now. I'm just really looking forward to what's coming up next. You know, like what's gonna happen with this podcast in the future, with this season or in the seasons onward. I'm really looking forward to like just seeing it grow, even if I can't be like a part of it or anything. I'm really hoping for big things for this, and I'm just gonna sit in comfortably, I guess, now in third. At least we're going to bronze. That's at least like we're at least going to medal. That's the thing. Like we're not gonna be all the way in the bottom. That's something, you know. That's something that not many people can say. I mean, now it's time for Kia.
And Kia, give us
Yeah.
your view from the top.
Yeah.
Give us the view from the top.
Now it's transition.
Well, we started from the bottom. Now we're here. And and I just want to say that, like, you know, overall, this has been like such a great, you know, it's just a great experience. I mean, winning, I guess, is always a great experience, but I don't know, it just feels really good, especially considering that, like, you know, I didn't really know that much about comics. And to just come in here and, you know, blast away people that have been, like, I don't know, reading them since the beginning of time. I don't know, it just gives me joy. But on a real note, though, once again, I just really want to, like, you know, reiterate, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, and, you know, my prayers and my thoughts go out to his family and his friends. And now it's on to you, Mike.
Well, I don't have a lot to say about the draft overall. Once again, my heart does go out to the family and friends and people who knew Chadwick Boseman personally, as well as the fans all over the world who knew him through his work. Like I said, hopefully for the listeners, this has been a fun little respite from the rest of the world. And hopefully you'll continue to take this ride with us. I'm always here on the different social medias. I'm always here on to be reached at racial draft podcast at Gmail. If you want to offer some feedback, if you want to get heard on the podcast with your kind of feedback, I'm just looking to make the show as good as it can be, as long as we can do it. And a lot of it has to do with all of you, be it all of you who've joined us on the show and all of you who retweet us and give us comments and just give us a listen. We're a fan community. This comes from our heart. This comes from our passion. And passion is one of the things that makes us human, and it's one of the things that brings joy to our lives. And who knows how much time we have, so we may as well fill it with joy. And I guess that's the last thing we'll say about that this week, but join us next week where we'll talk about some of the versus battles. And until next time, all things are possible.